What's up, everybody? Welcome back to
Figure It Out!
Out of the Basement's action figure talk show / podcast, where we talk mostly about Star Wars The Black Series and NECA. Today, we've got a banger of an episode. We're going to be discussing our thoughts on the archive line so far. 2 waves have been released. Every single figure is right here in front of you, including a little bonus Darth Maul, my custom figure. Of course, I'm Nate, and I'm joined with Justin.
What's up, guys? We are in a new set.
Yeah, we're in the corner. Smash like if you like the corner, and then maybe we'll just do it full time.
And then you might notice something a little different about image quality.
Yeah, we're finally shooting on Justin's DSLR. He finally brought it over. He's had it for how long? 6 months?
Very long time.
Yeah, but we're just now shooting on it, so hopefully the camera quality looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
Okay, so first up, before we get to the main topic of the episode, our thoughts on the figures, we're going to talk about the newly released Sith Trooper.
Yeah.
The images for that recently came out. He's getting a 6-inch Black Series figure, a hot toy, a vintage collection figure. They're going full in with the Sith Trooper, and of course this is our first look at one of the troopers, or a new trooper design from episode 9.
Yeah.
That rhymed.
Yes.
And I really like the new armor. Very reminiscent of a clone.
Yeah.
It looked very clone-y to me. Like Phase 3. I honestly, I remember I looked at it on Instagram, like when I woke up and I was still like kind of like out of it, and I was like, oh, they're releasing like the Phase 3 red clone. But then like when I looked at it again, I was like, oh wait, that's First Order.
Yes. Something funny about this is that since this is released on all these toy lines, like I guess it's like good enough for Star Wars like mainline media, social medias, like
true. I did notice that
is actually tweeting and making a Facebook post about a Black Series figure, and I was like, what?
Yeah, it's really weird.
I noticed that with a few things. Like, there's every once in a while there's like a comic. I'm like, oh, I read that they'll post about. Like, I don't know how they manage their social media, but anyway, if you read those comments, there's people in there going like, oh, very creative. It just looks like a normal, regular stormtrooper. Like,
yeah.
Or, oh, they just slightly changed it so they could sell more toys. But then those are the same types of people that are like, yeah, Rogue One is my favorite new Disney movie, because Rogue One has literally like 7 different troopers.
Yeah. And
like, what?
I feel like making that argument, most of the clones and
you ever see the original trilogy?
Like the
TIE pilots, the stormtroopers.
The design is derivative to begin with from other things, because it's all supposed to look similar. I think a lot of people forget that. Yeah. That it's all supposed to look like it connects together. And the Sith Trooper looks pretty different from a normal First Order Stormtrooper, but it still looks like a First Order.
I just think it's funny that the original trilogy did all these same things. Like, Episode 6 had the Scout Trooper that you've never seen before. So it's literally the same principle. And
you can't tell me that an AT-AT pilot and a normal Stormtrooper don't have a certain degree of similarity between them.
And why? Because people are going to say I'm being hypocritical because I bring up Rogue One. Well, Rogue One takes place during that era, so I think it's not right to introduce the 7 different designs because, they're there during the original trilogy era, but then they're not in the original trilogy films. This is a trilogy that takes place, 30 years after, and it's a different empire. Yeah. So I don't really understand the hypocrisy.
I think a lot of people are just really fed up with Star Wars and want something.
Yeah, people are very angry about Star Wars right now.
I think people want something to be angry about, and since there hasn't really been a lot of Episode 9 news at all. Yeah. And so this like Stormtrooper is like the first thing that anyone is seeing, and so that's the thing that has to be hated on.
And every comment somehow leads back to The Last Jedi just being like this horrible filth trash.
It's it's a movie. Let's just move on.
Yeah, it's insane.
Did either of us like the movie? No. But do I care enough to still be angry about it right now? Yeah. Also, no.
I mean, no. Yeah, I agree. I was like, yeah,
Anyways, back to the...
But it looks dope.
Yeah, it looks dope, and...
I've always wanted to see a red trooper in... Because you have, like, the shock troopers, like the Emperor's bodyguards in the film, but they're white and red. Like, this is, like, beet red, like the
Crimson Trooper.
That Amazon 4-pack? Yeah, the Crimson Trooper. I was like, it'd always be cool to see them.
Yeah.
Like, what if there's a Mustafar scene with the Emperor, and that's why they're red?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I don't know.
Or they're probably his new Royal Guard. He probably doesn't... They probably aren't going to use the classic Royal Guard look.
He said, yeah, that didn't work out last time. They just had pikes.
Yeah.
Let's get them guns.
When Yoda just easily pushes all of them up against the wall.
They're like, wait!
And that's it. Although there are some really badass, corny, like, 90s comic books about the Royal Guards. Crimson Empire.
I mean, I know I should talk Rogue One, but I do love the Death Troopers.
Of course.
I do love the idea of a Death Trooper being like a elite squadron of like bodyguards.
Yeah.
So I think this is kind of similar to that. Since they're called Sith Troopers, do you think they're force sensitive?
I doubt they'll be force sensitive.
Because like, why would they need guns then?
Yeah. I think they're just called
That'd
that.
be kind of dope, though. And during like a fight sequence, it's revealed.
Yeah.
And they're just like...
I mean, yeah, that would be really cool, but I think it's just a name. I wouldn't really put too much stock into them having force abilities.
Maybe it's an allusion to like the Emperor's new plan to like bring the Sith back.
Right, and instead of calling it the First Order or like...
It's literally called just like the Sith Empire or something.
That's probably the most logical way to look at it, but who knows for sure.
Let's just have the Sith win.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
I mean, I'd be down for that. But anyways... so it's coming out first at San Diego Comic-Con. It's going to be $32, and it's going to come with a bunch of accessories. But of course...
We'll end up getting the standard release.
Yeah, the standard release will be coming out. I would assume it'll be among the first wave of Episode 9 figures, whenever Force Friday ends up being this year. I think the date's already announced. I just don't remember at the moment. I'll remember soon enough,
But my thoughts, looks dope. I agree that it kind of looks reminiscent to a clone trooper, which is fitting since it's the Emperor. He was in the prequels. He kind of puppeteered the creation of the clone army in the first place. Well, technically Count Dooku, but he was under the influence of the Emperor. So let us know what you think about it.
Yeah, let us know. So on to our main topic. This is our thoughts on the archive wave so far. Of course, we talked about it when it was first announced. I've reviewed both waves in whole, which thank you so much to everyone that's watched our second video.
Yeah, further proof that the YouTube algorithm is the most confusing thing, like, because we have all in the channel made plenty of videos similar to that.
Yeah. It's
and
just
then
that one.
The algorithm is just like, yeah! Archive Wave 2, and then like some other video will just get like 30 views.
Yeah,
like, what's going on?
It's really weird. But if you're a new subscriber from that video, thanks for checking out Figure It Out. It really means a lot.
Yeah.
So first off, we've been vocal about this since day one. If you're a longtime Figure It Out watcher,
fully support.
100% support the idea of the archive wave. Fuck scalpers. All of that stuff. We are anti-scalper here at Out of the Basement.
Yep.
Of course, there's nothing wrong with a figure gaining value over time. But people that specifically flip figures or...
That is our definition of scalping, is a modern figure just released. You're putting 10 of them in your cart to list 10 of them on eBay.
Yeah.
If you have a figure as a collector and it gains value over time and you sell it for that price, like
that's
years
fine.
down the road, that is actual... That figure has value.
Yeah.
That has genuine value. But when a figure is first released, that's just desperation.
Yeah.
And it's unethical.
But
simply unethical.
Specifically with Star Wars collectors, I feel like a lot of them collect a lot of stuff and they buy everything. Because at one point Star Wars was like so hot, people were like, oh, I'm going to collect all this stuff and then I'm going to put my kids through college with all this.
There
people
are,
that have that mindset.
There are a certain amount of people as well that, don't let them fall. How many times did you reconstruct all those figures? like five times so far? There are certain, I want to say a minority of collectors out there who are pissed about the archive line because it's devaluing the figures from 2013, 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
So to that I just say, aren't you collecting because it's just you're a Star Wars fan and you like to have them on your shelf, or if you're an inbox collector, it just looks nice on display. I mean,
Yeah.
who
Collecting for money is dumb.
collecting for money would be way too hard because it's a mystery, you know. Everybody thought Beanie Babies,
Yeah.
that's what they're called.
Yeah. Look how that ended
We're
up.
gonna be super. There's like one that's super rare because it was like a mistake on the assembly line. Or like I don't even remember what it is, but wouldn't that be easy if something comes out and it just has the word collectible on it and you're like, oh yeah, that'll be worth money someday.
Yeah.
Like if you have that mentality, go buy bonds.
Yeah. Just invest in
Go
stocks.
buy savings bonds.
The collectible game is not one that makes sense anymore.
Yeah.
There's so many
you
things
can't
that-
predict what is going to be valuable like years down the line.
Yeah, there's no possible
Besides
way.
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from NECA.
Yeah. That's a given. Okay, so like we were saying, love the idea. The updates to the figures are also pretty awesome,
Yeah.
specifically the face printing.
Yeah.
With something though like Anakin, I really wish that we could have gotten a little bit of an update to his articulation.
True. That.
Because the recent Jedis, Obi-Wan, Padawan, and Mace Windu with the butterfly joints,
They have the deep cut, not double jointed elbows, but they have the deep cut,
singles,
the cut, and then they also have butterfly joints so they could get that nice
Yeah.
two-handed
And-
pose.
and the chest
Neat.
is made out of nice soft plastic. So when I got Anakin after handling Mace Windu,
Uh-huh.
I was just like, God, this figure just feels so old.
Yeah.
The articulation is not good.
I mean, the photo reel is good.
The photo reel is good, but those single jointed
Yeah.
elbows barely hit 90 degrees. The way his double knee is looks really unnatural. Like the way his kneecap rests.
Yeah.
And the face printing also doesn't match the skin tone on his neck. I didn't mention that in the review, but you can tell they're like, one's glossy and one's like a matte finish, and it just looks really awkward. And if I'm going to criticize him again, because people know I loved hating on Anakin,
Yeah.
I don't like the neck joint either. The neck joint sticks out really badly.
Yeah.
Because the head sits, I think it sits a little too high on the figure itself.
But I think all the other figures. I mean, you do have the Empire Strikes Back Luke. That doesn't have updated articulation in the Maul. But overall, I mean, what do you think? Let's talk about Archive Wave 1.
Yeah.
For example, like
Which-
the characters specifically, like were you
So
were you satisfied with the character?
yeah, so Wave 1 was Boba Fett, Bosk, IG-88, and X-Wing pilot Luke.
And like I thought that was a banger of a wave.
Yeah.
And then Wave 2 got announced, but we'll get there. But Wave 1 is absolutely great. Now, me personally, you didn't have any of the figures, right?
Nope. I bought the entire... I had a bootleg Boba Fett, which the bootleg Boba Fett is a good figure. It's not bad.
Oddly.
Surprisingly good figure. But, yeah, I didn't have any of them, so it was a full waiver for me. Of course, I would probably say, Bosk feels a little dated. His articulation's not the best.
He just looks so cool.
Yeah, IG-88 is a figure I don't think you could really do much with to begin with in terms of articulation just because of the design.
Right.
It's a very, robotic design, so... I don't know. I feel like that figure, it is what it is.
I think Wave 1 was really good because 2 really, for me at least, I found IG-88 and Bosk at Walgreens when I first got into collecting them. And
I remember that.
The blue line was, it was leaving.
It was phasing out,
Yeah.
but specifically
somehow got those
Walgreens,
too.
you could always find Episode
Obi-Wan,
3,
yeah.
Obi-Wan.
Because nobody wanted that.
Yeah, and then the occasional IG-88.
Yeah, so I had Bosk and IG-88. I did not have Boba Fett, which... That was a holy grail Black Series figure for me to get. And then also the Empire Strikes Back Luke for the X-Wing pilot Luke, especially after the very overpriced, people were selling that carded one for $300, over $300. I'm just
the Celebration exclusive.
yeah, I'm never going to get that figure. But thanks to the Archive Wave, which this is partially, it's partly the Archive Wave is for people who maybe didn't get the chance. That's what it is mainly for me instead of the updates.
Yeah.
But it is also for the people who want the updates, which includes the photo reel printing. So for me, I get these figures that I've never had before, and I get the photo reel.
Yeah.
You get the better version of that figure.
Because
And there was mild paint app differences in IG-88. It looked more copper.
Yeah, the Archive Wave of IG-88 does have a different paint job for sure. But yeah, the Wave, super desirable characters for me. The bounty hunters have always been really cool designs. So finally being able to have them in action figure form, and my little diorama I have in the room in my collection. Yeah. So I definitely made them a focal point of my entire Black Series collection.
And since around the same time they were finalizing the bounty hunter lineups, that's obviously why they chose to put those 2 bounty hunters in there. So, what a great idea!
Yeah,
what a great idea!
Perfect timing.
Because we've mentioned this before, how like there's a new influx of collectors. Mm-hmm. It's cool to be a nerd.
Yeah, of course.
So, I just think it's a good idea to get people who might, because like you're not gonna find any of the 2013 figures unless you're at a convention, some sort of sale, or online.
So that's pretty much it for Wave 1. Mm-hmm. Really solid lineup of figures, like we said. None of them really needed too many updates.
Right.
Because they were, a helmeted character, a robot, and an alien. But the face printing on Luke is a little controversial, though.
Really?
Yeah, some people think it looks really bad. Like, they call it Holiday Special Luke. I've seen a lot of people call it that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it looks good.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
My Lukey.
So, moving on to Wave 2, which is Masterpiece, Full Waiver.
Ooh.
That is Anakin, Yoda, Scout Trooper, and Darth Maul.
I already had 2 of the figures, and I bought all 4, because the Yoda looked so good.
Dude, the Yoda was a massive update. The first Yoda is fine.
It is fine.
But this is like definitive Yoda status. Like the paint apps look so good on him.
It really does. And it also comes with all the original accessories.
Yep, the snake, the lightsaber.
The snake, the cane, the lightsaber.
But you don't need that lightsaber.
You need it!
Of course, and his robe is removable, too, so you can give him the prequel look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scout Trooper.
Scout Trooper, of course.
We just needed another Scout Trooper.
Well, the only way to get the Scout Trooper was with the speeder bike anyway.
Which I do have. And you do as well.
We got extremely lucky. So, again, right when these figures were all phasing out, the GameStops by us had the Scout Trooper with the speeder bike. On clearance. $20. We both paid $20 a piece for it. This was like 20...
Why can't things like this just happen to us again?
Yeah, that was like 2015.
Yeah.
And then same thing, that's how I got...
the Wampa?
Yeah, not the Wampa. Or is it... The Tauntaun.
The Tauntaun with Han.
Yeah, Han Solo and Tauntaun I got, again, for $20 on clearance at a GameStop.
Right.
So, we got extremely lucky with those. But... You can always use more troopers.
You can always use more of the original trilogy Stormtroopers. Scout Troopers most of all, because this is the only single release of the Scouts. So, the regular Stormtroopers had plenty of different releases, but this one was special. You just need this one.
True.
And it does have a little bit of updated paint apps. You said a little more dirty at the bottom.
It'll, at least for my original release. I don't know. It could be different for everyone, but my archive... Scout Trooper has way better, or like way more paint apps on the legs, like the dirt. So, it is minorly different, at least from mine. Your experience might be a little different.
Yeah.
And then we've got Darth Maul. Released conveniently with Obi-Wan Padawan right around the corner.
They're so smart.
Hasbro sometimes... They have a clue. Other times, they have no clue.
What a long time coming to release not only the Obi-Wan, but re-release the Darth Maul figure, because that is not a figure I had.
Yep.
Or any of us had. A real one, at least.
Yeah, well, you had the bootleg, and then you gave me the bootleg.
I got that one for a meme. It was like $3.
Yeah.
Shipped!
That's,
from China.
That's how much...
International shipping.
That's how much I paid for, like, my Boba Fett. It was like $6. Just free shipping.
I'm pretty sure, free shipping. And
takes a month and a half to get to you, but oh well.
But I gave that Darth Maul to Nate for some tacos.
Yep, true.
It might have been a burrito.
No, it was a taco 12-pack.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And Black Series figure number 1. Orange line, number 1, 2013. The first figure to ever be released. Well, it released in a wave.
Right.
But... figure number 1, the figure that started it all. with the updated photo reel.
Yeah, true.
Right?
The photoreal is in the eyes. At the very least, it's in the eyes.
Yeah.
And like I was talking about earlier, I put the alternate head on a Kylo Ren body. Because, you know, I got a million Kylo Rens. So I just popped that helmet off. And I think it looks fine. He's a little too tall, but...
Yeah.
I just wanted to display the other look. Because I also like this head a lot. But at the end of the day, you know, Darth Maul's like that in 2 scenes. Maybe
True.
3 scenes. So
But
you gotta have the main figure with the the head, the classic head.
Uncloaked.
Uncloaked.
And it is a great figure. Love the lightsaber. Love how you can have it as one.
Yeah.
Like when it gets cut in half.
Yeah.
Or just, you know, double bladed. I think the blade looks really good too. Really red.
His first appearance too, he only ignites half of his lightsaber.
Yep.
I really like the mix, something that I didn't really touch on in the review, but upon like having him in my hand and looking at him for a while, I really like the matte black on most of Darth Maul, like the paint apps on like the main part of the costume, but then the contrast with the shiny black of his gloves and boots.
Yeah, it gets a little glossy.
Like, that didn't really stick out to me at first, but I look at it and I'm like, man, that just the way the matte paint looks on him just looks so good. It looks so real.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good representation of like how real cloth goods can be. Like they you know, you look at these other ones, it's very obvious, like Anakin. Like all of his outfit is like shiny pretty much.
Yeah.
So I think
I would agree with that. And we just need more saber wielding characters.
Of course.
And I mean, there's only a few Sith in the actual film, so it's nice to get a Sith where we can.
Yeah.
Because in terms of red lightsaber characters, we have Darth Vader and optional Revan.
Yeah.
So.
And Darth Maul.
Yeah, and Darth Maul.
That's it.
That's great.
Hopefully we will finally get a Count Dooku someday. Please, Hasbro. Please. So, I mean, yeah, I think overall...
Well, and the Anakin. We didn't talk about the Anakin.
Okay. Well, I kind of hated on it for a while.
Yeah, you hated on Anakin. When I saw that the Anakin was in the archive wave, that is another figure neither of us had. Literally one of the most expensive Black Series figures at one point. Might not be anymore because they got devalued. Which I've noticed, they don't even get devalued that much.
Yeah.
There's still always going to be a market for the original releases.
And remember when people were finding it for like $5 at Ross? You remember that frenzy? Somehow Ross had gotten a hold of like a bunch of Anakins and put them out for super cheap. But
how do they do it?
Yeah. They must have found them in the warehouse, a warehouse somewhere. But as much as I kind of criticized Anakin, I am just happy to have him as a character in my Black Series collection because, again, he is a very important character to the story of Star Wars and deserves to be in my collection. Mm-hmm. So, in that regard, totally happy. Love that he comes with two. You know, he comes with the good head and the evil head.
Yeah, the dark side head.
Yeah. So you can display him either way. I have him with the dark side head on. Mm-hmm. But it's just finally great to have such an important character in my collection, and I can't stress that enough.
And they've been releasing like battle droids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of prequel content they've been releasing lately. So
Hasbro's playing to their market. They're like, we know that there's a prequel interest out there. They finally got the word. They said, what? You guys like these movies now?
Yeah. People change.
Yeah. Literally, people change. Because people were like, maybe we didn't have it so bad.
It's literally like the circle of being a Star Wars fan. As a kid, you're like, clones, prequels,
boom booms.
I mean, I did love the original trilogy, and as a kid, I considered the original trilogy my favorite. Like, I had friends that liked the prequels over the OT, and I still, even as a kid, I was like, the original trilogy's better, but I was still like, loved the Clone Wars era, loved the prequels, and then, of course, once you, like, gained that awareness of, like, film criticism, or, like, I don't know how to explain.
It doesn't...
You just start thinking of movies differently at a certain age, and you're like... It's almost like the Transformers thing. In 2007, I love Boom Boom! Yeah. But obviously now I know they're trash. So the same thing happened with the prequels in, like, my teenage years. But now as an adult, I'm just like... I could go back and watch the prequels.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like the fandom has gotten that way in general.
I think the memes helped.
Yeah,
a lot.
And just people being dissatisfied with Disney Star Wars, too. Granted,
that,
we're not those people, personally.
Yeah. I mean, I am with Rogue One.
And Solo.
And The Last Jedi.
Rogue One is... I think the only truly bad film out of Disney Star Wars is The Last Jedi.
I could agree with that.
Every other film is mediocre to pretty good.
To amazing with The Force Awakens. Hot take.
We do have a controversial opinion there.
Yeah. Just liking The Force Awakens is a controversial opinion.
So, back to the figures, though. One thing...
Yeah, what are we talking about again?
Yeah. We're just blabbing about Star Wars.
Do you like when we go off the rails? So I kind of like it. It's almost like a podcast. We're putting podcast in the title now.
Why not?
Maybe these videos can get more views.
Yeah, get some more clicks. One thing I will say about the archive line is, of course, not really a fan of the card and bubble packaging. Would definitely prefer... I mean, I'm not mad about it because I'm an opener anyway. Open them shits. You don't keep them in a box. So
unless it's like clamshell and it's really old and valuable.
Yeah, like my
bed sheet, Michael Myers.
All right. There are some stuff that I keep in the package, but for the most part, if it's a modern figure, I'm gonna open it.
Especially since we're openers when it comes to the regular Black Series. So, like, what would be the point?
Yeah. Granted, I do have some carded 40th
from the
figures.
It just whatever you feel like doing. But these figures specifically, okay, you have a Black Series shelf. So why in God's name would I not open these essentials? Some of these are absolute essentials. Maul.
I would say all of them are. Every single one of them is an essential Star Wars figure.
To have on the shelf, yeah. I mean, the one I don't have on the shelf, I have it hanging up off of like Attack, is R5.
Yeah.
Just because I like the packaging and I like the GameStop exclusive.
Yeah.
But that's the only one.
And I have a Jawa and a Tusken Raider from the 40th anniversary, and I just like the package. It just looks, it's nostalgic.
Yeah. But for this one, it is slick packaging.
Yeah.
I like the black and white.
It does.
And I get excited when I see it just because it's something different.
Yeah, it's not the red and black box, but
because it's going on like we're going to be in the 90s here pretty soon in the red and black box.
I think it's time.
What are they going to do when it's 100? Just move the font?
It's going to get smaller.
Or is it going to get smaller?
It's probably going to get smaller.
You think they'll do 100? I think it'd be so cool if like 1 to 25 was red and black, and then like 26 to 50 was like green and.
Well, I mean, they've changed the color slightly a few times with like Force Spirit Obi-Wan is blue, and the Mimban Trooper is brown.
Well, you know how Bucky has his shelf? Like he takes his out of the shelf, but he has them, or takes them out of the box, but he has them like lined up. I think it'd be so cool if they did like every 25 they changed the colors to like blue, yellow, red, green.
Some sort of variation.
Yeah. We are going off the rails this episode.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen though. That's really, I think we're stuck with the red and black box for a while. At least I don't foresee them changing it when there's only one more movie left for a while.
That's true. What are they going to do?
I mean, they still got plenty of prequels.
You're right.
Hasbro has a plan. They'll be fine.
They do have a plan because they'll release super like odd figures.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have all the fan vote characters.
Yeah. Still
coming down the pipeline. But anyways, back to the packaging. It would be cool to have collector-friendly package that I could reseal and open because obviously, you know, if you move around or anything like that, loose figures quickly become a nightmare.
Yeah.
So
that is true.
Losing accessories, breaking them while you're moving from one place to another. There's a lot of things that could go wrong.
I have all of my Black Series accessories in a giant Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
Every single accessory that is not in use.
Most of mine are in the respective box.
Yeah.
But, anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much wave 2.
Mm-hmm.
Not, again, all bangers. Put your extra Darth Maul head on one of the 50 Kylo Ren bodies that you have and get a new figure.
Absolutely.
Because Kylo Ren figures are worthless as well, so...
But we love Kylo Ren here at Out of the Basement.
Yeah, I mean, we stand Kylo Ren, but I don't know why I have 6 Kylo Ren figures.
We just keep buying them. Oh.
He looked like, I know if they release one with the cracked helmet, I'm going to be like, this one has the cracked helmet, though. Maybe a clearance figure, though.
Yeah. So what are some archive figures that you would like to see?
I mean, we did write some down.
Yeah, we did.
So
that was not off the top of my head.
Not off the top of our head. Episode 3 Obi-Wan is probably my number 1 at this point, considering the upcoming Walgreens exclusive Clone Trooper Obi-Wan with that amazing head. That head sculpt looks so good.
Yeah.
It looks so perfect, and that's almost exactly the episode 3 head to begin with.
Yeah.
I think the hair is mildly different.
That'd be a great figure to release because the first one was abysmal. That's why we found them all the time at Walgreens, because nobody would buy them.
And then he randomly became rare himself in a weird twist of fate.
He got us back.
Dude.
Which I did pick one up.
But I passed on it.
I literally picked one up. Because I used to be a completionist.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I went through that phase with the blue line.
God.
So
I probably passed him up, no joke, like 10 to 20 times.
Yeah, and the face sculpt is terrible.
Yeah, and he's shiny. His skin tone is
like
shiny.
People have said like he looks like an orange.
Yeah.
Like when you peel an orange, it's like that sort of material.
Yeah, I can see that. Dude.
So, and it'd be a great figure to release just because we just got the episode 3 Anakin, so of course you need the episode 3 Obi.
Yep, need Obi. He's essential.
Hey, that is probably number 1.
I think that would definitely be number 1 for me.
Maybe not number 1 for me because I already have the figure.
True.
Rather get a figure that I never had.
So another one that we put on there because at Out of the Basement we also like to cheat on our lists. We like to cheat on the list. So
of course,
we've got any Phase 1 Clone Trooper, red, green. I think there's a yellow one.
Yeah.
Plain.
Bring him back. Really technical.
Bring him back.
Captain is red.
There you go.
Sergeant is green. Yellow is Commander because that was in the Amazon exclusive 4-pack.
Dude, remember when I had the Clone Trooper Sergeant and I sold it?
Yeah, because you found it.
I literally found it
on the
ground. No joke. Found the Clone Trooper Sergeant Black Series 6-inch action figure with no accessories laying on the ground.
Yeah.
And I...
What a stupid, what a random, probably
mean,
some little kid.
Some poor little kid lost his toy.
Some parent out there bought little Johnny a $20 action figure for him to play with.
Yeah.
And it was no accessories, but you sold them loose on eBay, right?
Yeah. And this, mind you, this was like 2015, 2016. I just found it on the ground. So, at the time...
sounds so silly.
At the time... And that's a true story, too. I'm not even making that up.
I was there.
At the time, the clones were so rare and so elusive, any of them, that I was like, I'm never going to have a Clone Trooper gun. So I was like, I'll just buy the figure again with accessories. And so I sold my loose one on eBay and never bought another one.
Right.
And so here we are now. It's a pretty rare figure. I did sell him for quite a bit of money to begin with, loose. Because he was
loose with no accessories.
Yeah, he was still valuable.
Yeah, and now that figure's
insane.
Anywhere between 50 and 70.
Yeah,
I get confused because I have the Captain and the Sergeant on my wish list.
Yeah, the red one is not as expensive. The red one floats around like $35.
I think it's gone up.
Unless it's gone up recently. But last time I looked at it, which was not too long ago, but anyways, and again, the Plain Trooper. Again,
just a Phase 1 clone, pick whatever color, and we'll buy.
Do an entire wave of just Phase 1 clones. There you go.
They most likely won't do that, but literally just pick whatever one you want, which they would probably pick the regular Phase 1 since it's cheaper paint.
Yeah.
Because it's just, there's no paint apps besides the white and black. But I'd even be down for that. I actually have an orange line Phase 1 clone Trooper.
That is true.
So, the only ones I'm missing is the Captain and Sergeant, because I do have the Commander from the 4-pack, so...
Nice.
I'd be down for any of those.
So,
give me more.
Another one that this one I know would never ever happen, because Disney is anti-Slave Leia for whatever reason, but Slave Leia would be such a great figure to give an update to. It's so bad. It's out of scale. First
do you remember that picture I sent you?
Yeah.
Because I found it somehow. Oh, it was at a used mom and pop type store. local here.
Yep.
And I got it. And I remember sending you a picture of him, like, or her, compared to, like, Chewie and Han or something.
Yeah.
And she's literally like a child. It's the most out of scale figure in my entire collection. It's like so odd. It's very odd.
You can legitimately compare it to any other Leia figure, and she's still significantly shorter than any other Leia figure.
And just like her body is just smaller.
It's
like it's not even like skinny or lean or overweight. It's like literally just like your body is just condensed. It's weird.
Yeah, it's a very
shrunk,
deformed figure. It was like they took like the 3 3/4 inch figure and made it like 4 inches, and we're like, good enough.
That's serious. I wouldn't be surprised.
And the face looks terrible.
Doesn't look that bad when you have her like laying down next to Jabba. It doesn't look that bad from a distance. Then you look up and you're like, whoa,
yeah,
what?
You're like, oh god. The articulation is pretty ugly too.
Yeah.
The
knees.
The knees.
She's like missing a kneecap.
And the thigh cut. It's just a very gross figure. But it could definitely use an update, but it will never get an update because Disney doesn't like Slave Leia for whatever reason. Next up, this is kind of a meme, but Hux, General Hux. Because that figure just never existed to begin with. I saw it one time. And it was at C2E2, and the guy wanted $50 for it, and I was like, I'm not paying $50 for this fucking figure.
Yeah. The only figure I've seen from that wave is the Atsy in person at a Kmart, which that Kmart has since gone out of business in our area. And so what was Atsy doing there? So that means at one point there was a Hux.
Hux was probably there for a long time, too.
Yeah. And it's just like, what a weird story.
Yeah.
What a weird release.
And that
because I've never seen that wave in person any other time. Never seen the Hux in person.
Yeah.
I don't know what other figures are in that wave, but Bug.
Fuck. Fucking son of a bitch. Anyways. Yeah, I only saw that figure the one time at C2E2, and it was before face printing as well, so you could definitely use an update, and it would probably look pretty good with face printing. But I would assume we'll probably get it. We'll probably get an episode 9 Hux. Maybe they'll throw us a bone.
Hopefully, because there wasn't an episode 8 one. So.
No. And then some more serious ones. Bespin Luke, of course.
Oh yeah.
And
or more importantly,
Return of the Jedi Luke.
No more sad puppy dog eyes.
Get those sad puppy dog eyes out of here. Luke looks like he's about to cry when he should be a little bit angry, maybe a little bit more.
Just anything else.
Yeah, literally anything besides sadness.
That'd be better.
Yeah.
Just a blank stare.
But the big doe eyes of the figure, and I think the way that they sculpted the hair, which does look kind of accurate, but it also kind of looks a little nerdy. Like Luke kind of looks like a dork. Looks like Eric Foreman.
Yeah. The Empire Strikes Back Bespin Luke is a significantly better head sculpt.
Yeah.
I'd be fine if we just stuck with that one, but it's also a rare figure, so maybe if you don't have that one, maybe you could find it in the archive wave.
Yeah.
So,
I think Luke, the main character of Star Wars, who the stories ultimately was originally about, he deserves to have every single look of his look really good.
Yellow Jacket, Black Series figure?
Dude, that'd be sick.
I'd be down, because that's like his
vibe.
main look in the comic, right?
Yeah.
The Disney mainline Star Wars comic.
Yep. So I think all of those would be really good choices for the archive wave. Of course, we are getting an archive wave 3, but they haven't, at the time of this recording, watch, they're going to announce something before we put this video out.
All right.
We are getting a wave 3, we just don't know what is in it. So I would assume at some point, probably San Diego Comic-Con, they're going to drop that knowledge on us.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think of the archive wave so far, and what are some figures that you would like to see in the archive wave? Let us know.
How many waves do you think they're going to do? Think they'll do a wave 3?
Wave 3 is confirmed. Wave 3 is confirmed. We just don't know what's in it.
Yeah, because they're only working with a certain amount of figures, so it'll probably stop after wave 3.
Yeah. But they're only doing 4 at a time, though.
But I think what we have in this list, could you really think of any other, figure that's in desperate need?
Not off the top of my head, but of course, comment down below, let us know.
Yeah.
What are some figures you'd like to see updated? of course, you've been watching Figure It Out, where we talk about action figures, mostly Black Series, and NECA. Of course, if you have a suggestion for an episode, we also take fan suggestions. It's been a long time since we've done a fan episode.
Sean?
Fig? Riley? Where you at, guys?
Get those keyboards.
Get them clacking.
Get your fingers typing.
Get them clacking.
All our regular viewers.
So, shoot us some ideas and we will do it. Of course, we're still doing our series of wish lists from each Star Wars movie, besides Rogue One. Very important that we're not doing Rogue One, because every single thing besides Bodhi and Saw
yeah,
has a Black Series figure.
Josh, by the way, don't want to forget about you.
Oh yeah,
Although
Josh.
you haven't commented in a while, so are you still watching, Mr. Scout Trooper profile picture guy? You still watching, bud?
Where you guys at?
LSD...
LG Day?
Yeah.
LJD.
LJD Films with the Kylo Ren. You used to be...
He's gone.
If you would comment again, I would remember you as our original fan.
Yeah.
Like our not number one, but like our original fan.
Yeah.
Who would regularly comment.
That's why
Where are you at?
I mean, we have a conspiracy theory.
Yes.
That LJD Films, he just forgot his login and made a different account, and he is someone that still comments on our videos. We just don't know it's him.
Yeah. So let us know. Help us out with this mystery.
Yeah. Of course, you can check us out here on YouTube. Subscribe if you are new. We're always talking about action figures, doing action figure reviews, talking about movies, Blu-rays, that sort of stuff. So if that's interesting to you, don't forget to subscribe. Of course, you can check us out on Instagram, Out of the Basement YT, where we post fig pics, and it's probably one of the best ways to find out when we also have a video coming out.
The only social media you should probably follow us on, because we don't really do anything with our Twitter.
Sometimes.
It's just
every once in a while we get inspired.
But the Instagram, I'd say that we run that pretty well.
Yeah. Instagram is where we make our home, besides on YouTube here. So, of course, I'm Nate. I'm joined with Justin.
See you guys later.
Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time on Out of the Basement.